Good evening and welcome back to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Y'all, it is not going to happen today, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Y'all, I am up here by myself. It's been a long time since I did a video without my co-host, Mrs. Best, y'all, but she fortunately cannot get access to the show, so I will be doing this one solo going forward. But that doesn't mean y'all still can't subscribe to my girl. Go ahead and click in my description box, click on the link, subscribe to her channel, because any reviews or recaps I do not cover on my channel. It's because we cover it on her channel. On her channel, we have still 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, which is probably one of my favorite shows. I know she just dropped the documentary on Bob Barker when he did the why is that show slipping my mind here? But there's a documentary on it's not Named That Price. What the fuck is that show called? Dang. I cannot believe it slipped my mind just that quickly, but yeah, she just stopped her video today. She and I will be live tomorrow on both our channels. Remember, I have Married to Medicine, and she also has 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. We also have Love and Hip Hop next week, and we have a slew of other shows. So you guys make sure you subscribe to both of us, so that way you can catch both shows when they air. So I'm gonna give a few people a couple minutes to get in here, because y'all, we got a lot to cover with House of Villains. I need this show to pick up a little bit more views. I need y'all to start liking the video, because I may actually start doing a pre-record on this one and not go live so much on these shows. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. So the show opened up where we have our three villains who are going up for banishment. Remember, we have Plain Jane, we have Kate Chastain, and New York all up for banishment. So when the house goes back in, now that we know who's going to be on the chopping block, Plain Jane is really pissed. Plain Jane's all like, I cannot believe this. I trusted Paul. He was actually one of the real people in the house I considered a friend. And he feels like Paul stabbed him in the back. And he felt like Paul could have had a bigger voice when it came to Johnny. And I kept trying to tell y'all that's not how this was going to go. Remember, Johnny is weak-willed and easily influenced in this house. So he was going to do whatever he felt like was in the betterment of him winning, which anybody would. I'm not begrudging him for that, but there was no way he was putting up Tom versus Plain Jane. I said that to y'all. I'm going to say it again. I did not see that happening. So when Plain Jane was pleading his case, coming up to Johnny, talking about this, that, and I was like, you wasting your time. That actually put a target on your back, I felt like, because you should just stay quiet, and they could have just had somebody else up there in your place, really. But, we're going to live to fight another day. So Plain is going off, telling everybody to kiss their ass, him and New York both. And Paul can't understand why he's catching so much of the heat. Like, Paul is catching all the heat based on Johnny's decision for who was put up for banishment. And I didn't feel like that was fair either. I felt like, to me, Johnny should have got some of that too. But like Johnny said, like, that is dead weight. Like, why would y'all even get mad? This has to end this way. And I do agree with that. Y'all are not all going to win this prize and split it amongst you guys. You guys, it is one person going to win. So this is going to have to happen. So, as you know, everybody is going up to their beds and layers. Johnny, Ashley, and another somebody is, I don't know who's in the room. I think it was Paul, are having a conversation. Johnny wants Kate to go home, and he wants to make sure that everybody understands that, we need to vote Kate out because Kate is a villain. Kate is the worst. And I haven't seen anything that what Kate has done. Kate has kind of been off to her side, minding her own business. So I don't know what they so mad about Kate for, but that's okay. So once, the next day comes up and everyone, is getting ready, the next assignment comes through. And the next assignment, comes with immunity from being banished. And they want to make sure Kate doesn't get it. So the challenge is that Plain Jane, New York, and also Kate Chastain have to basically guess out of their housemates who's underneath these boxes. And they're going to be completely blindfolded with gloves on. So they all pretty much go in a line. They're trying to fill out the people and everything. And what it comes down to is that whoever gets the most people right is going to win the game. And if there is a tie, then whoever took the shortest amount of time is going to win. So once again, everybody's feeling everybody. And it was funny because there was two people in particular, Drita and Christine, who people couldn't tell the difference between the two. And that's what people were struggling on. But Lord, the commentary that I had looking at these fools, filling up on everybody, trying to figure out which one. New York had me on the floor, y'all. She was a mess. So they all put up the dolls in place of the villain that it belongs to. And once everybody finishes, then the people who are underneath the boxes are all revealed. And when it came down to it, Plain Jane actually got the least amount of points. So he was automatically going to go ahead and be up for banishment. So it was between now New York and Kate Chastain of who was going to win the immunity challenge for not being banished. So they both got a tie because nobody could tell the difference between Christine and Drita because that was the tiebreaker. So now they have to go with time. Now, Johnny is in the box talking about New York's going to win. New York got this. New York's going to win because she took the least amount of time. And then Joel hit them with that, okay, Christine won. Fucked up their entire plan. Because now, did I say Christine? Kate won. Sorry, y'all. This is what happens when you do these shows by yourself. I don't want to do these by myself. I'm telling you, I need Mrs. Best here. But Kate won the challenge. So Kate wins, which throws a monkey wrench in Johnny's plan. Because now they have to eliminate either Plain Jane or New York. So the entire house is, once again, once Kate wins, they're scattered. Everyone is pleading their cases, trying to see who's going to vote for who. Y'all know how this goes. Everybody pretty much networks with each other to try to figure out who you're going to vote for. And people don't know who to really vote for. People like, do we vote against Plain Jane or do we vote against New York? Now, in the real world, to me, I would have voted, if I was a part of this, I actually would have voted New York off. And the reason why I would have voted New York off is because, one, she'll probably come back next season because this is like a guaranteed check for her. But two, I kind of feel like they would have had more stability because then Kate and Plain probably could have teamed up and got the rest of their asses out. That's how I felt. But that's just me personally. That's just my strategy brain working. So the house is pretty much, partying. It's late night. Kate is throwing this party for Plain Jane. And Plain Jane comes out with this fat suit and these big old titties. And I'm just like, whoa, way too much. But it was all fun. They were having fun and everything. And, I forgot the best part. Let's come back to that for a minute. Kate and Drita were talking. And New York was in the bathroom. And when it looks like with New York, hey, Keywan, thank you for being here. I was about to say, I thought nobody loved me doing this by myself. But I'm going to come back to that party in just a second. I forgot about this fight. I'm trying to do this off memory because this show be all over the place to do notes on. It just does. But Kate and Drita were talking. New York was in the bathroom. And New York was kind of looking around, talking about, okay, should I come in? Should I not? So Drita's like, come on, New York, just come on in here. New York was like, this is my room. I can come in my room anytime I want. And I'm like, this is what I be talking about. New York be on that shit. Because Drita did meet it in a way where she was like, hey, New York, like, you can come in, stop being nosy. Drita was like, yeah, come on into the room. So Drita is, of course, caught off guard. It was all like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything. And quit throwing me off. And I'm just like, yeah, the hat's turned backwards. It's like one of my least favorite hats I have on. So yeah, it's going to be like that for right now because it's hot as hell in Phoenix right now. Hi, Shani. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So Drita was all like, the fuck? And New York's like, Drita, I know you don't want me here. I know you don't want me here. Just antagonizing Drita. So Drita, that's all it takes. Who the fuck is you talking to like that? What the fuck? You guys got me fucked up in this house. Walking and just strutting and like marching like she in the army. Like, who the fuck? I'm in like, all you motherfuckers. No, I'm not the one to play with it. I'm just like, Lord help me. If I was in this house, I would lose my fucking mind. I see why Kate be quiet and be to herself in the corner because I would be too. I would be too. If I was Kate, like I'm Kate in this situation. Y'all just let y'all know that. So Drita and New York are into it, and Now Drita feel away about New York, which, screws her over in the end, but we'll get to that in just a second. So I'm gonna get to that party in a minute because I know I mentioned the party, but I just realized I just skipped ahead of a whole lot of shit. So the whole house is, kind of still talking. Everyone is still networking, and she did call somebody a rat, and I'm just like, she love using that word. I'm like, Drita, go somewhere with that. Evolve. 2026. So, um, the house, once again, everybody's marketing their ways. People try to figure out who's voting for who. Drita was like, okay, well, I'm finna cook for everybody because nobody in this house knows how to cook for themselves. New York comes down and, she's looking around, lurking over there. Drita's calling about, hey, your burgers are done. Your burgers are done. And New York does not know how to really approach Drita. So Drita come in the house. She goes, hey, if y'all want to eat, y'all got to eat. Y'all got to fix your own plate. I'm not your fucking servant. Come fix your plate. And New York said, oh, hell no, I ain't going out there. No, 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 no. Now she going to be all like that. And I said, oh, Lord, these two are hilarious. Like, I'm dying. So New York doesn't get a burger. She goes, that's how you approach people. Like, aren't you supposed to cook with love? And aren't you supposed to lead with it and understand? And I'm like, yeah, but that ain't Drita, New York. Drita, the type of person, she about it. She ready for fights. She ready for everything. So after this happens and everybody, then here comes, this party. And this party, Plain Jane is coming out there with these big ass titties, jumping in the pool and stuff. So that inspired Ashley. Because, Ashley is this free spirit, it's always somebody named Ashley. Do y'all notice that throughout the reality TV shows? It's always somebody named Ashley that's sitting up there just being all free and just free spirited. Always somebody named Ashley. So Ashley takes off her top and jumps in the pool with Plain Jane, and they're going crazy and everything. And then Ashley takes this moment to go push up on Johnny. So she jumps on his back and everything, and they're starting their flirtation. And I said, wouldn't be somebody from Love Island if they don't start, hooking up with people, right? And Ashley called this from the beginning. Ashley said that her mission is to hook up, and she said she's doing this for us fans. I said, Ashley, nobody cares that much, but okay, sweetheart, okay. So they go upstairs, they're flirting with each other, and then one's oiling up, the other one's, drunk, and she don't know where she is. And she goes into the closet, they begin making out, you hear the slurping, and you're just like, oh God. But it wouldn't be a reality TV game show if somebody didn't hook up, right? So Ashley is just laughing that he tussling with her in the bed. She and everybody's looking. And Paul's like, do y'all want me to leave? Paul was like pissed. Paul was ready to go to sleep. So Paul walks out of the room and he goes into one of the, little lounge couches out in the hallway. And everybody hears them laughing. And hell, Drita was all like, hell, I thought he was killing her the way she was making them screams and noises. Like, the hell's going on? So it didn't look like they hooked up to me. It looked like they just did like a little makeout session and they just went about the ways. I don't know. Let me ask y'all in the chat, in the comments, replay game. Shout out to y'all. Do y'all think Johnny and Ashley fucked? Because I don't. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But they might have. So it's the next morning, and the producers are asking them, how it went, what happened. And Ashley says she don't remember a thing. She goes, I'm sorry, Grandma. Don't watch this and everything. And Johnny said it was good, I had a good time. It was good, giving you the real smooth over answer. And I'm just like, oh, goodness gracious. I guess. So outside, Kate Chastain and Plain Jane are talking, and New York, once again, is over there lurking, trying to see what's going on, trying to hear it. And pretty much Plain Jane, it was like, I really would love it if I have your vote. This being in this competition is so important to me and everything. And, Kate is a strategist. She's running the numbers in her head. She's like, does it make sense to keep Plain Jane here? Does it not? I don't know. I love New York. It's fun to room with her, but I love Plain Jane. So New York comes outside and was all like, what's going on here, Kate? You faker than everybody. Because you sit over here with Plain Jane talking about you love me as your roommate and everything. And just doing the absolute fucking most. She wouldn't be New York if she didn't do that. But at the same time, it's like, damn. Competition shows she just like Jackie Christie. You got to learn how to have a poker face. You got to learn how to be a strategy. Yeah, you can create some controversy here and there. There's nothing wrong with that. But find your way. Find your way into there and then kind of do it from the sidelines, stir a mess and just sit back and watch. That's my advice to New York. But it's now the banishment ceremony. They say, everybody get ready. Everybody, come on, we got to do this. So when it comes down to it, Plain Jane versus New York. And when I tell you, Shani said New York is always extra no matter what show she on. And that be her downfall when it comes to shows like this, where you're competing for money. Like, you don't have to make your way to make it known. But that's why I said I felt like New York is getting the equivalent to $200,000 in her contract. She just on here for the entertainment value, because it doesn't make sense for her to be here a third time if she's not doing that. Like, if New York is getting less than $100,000 to appear on this show, because I know they all get an appearance fee, but if New York gets less than $100,000, then this is a waste of time for her, because I feel like she needs to get exactly what the price is and not win. But everyone's coming. It's the banish ceremony, and we have Plain Jane in New York up there. Now, Plain Jane is, pleading his case because Joe asked him, all right, plead your case, see if you can sway the votes. And Plain Jane said this opportunity is important to him. It's important to, the little boy who always got picked on, who always was, said he wasn't good enough and everything, who didn't fit in. This opportunity could take him very, very far, if he does, stay in the game a little bit longer. So he's hoping that people would consider that, and vote. And New York is getting emotional. And she goes, oh, Plain Jane, that was such a good speech. And she goes, and New York's like, well, you know what? Let me explain something to y'all. Plain Jane is a big competitor. Way more solid than I ever could be. Because let me break it down for y'all, for those who don't understand. This is my third time being here. I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know what's happening half the time. I'm in competitions. I go the wrong direction. I'm useless here. So what y'all want? Y'all want somebody who is a fierce competitor, or do y'all want somebody who don't know what the hell they doing and is going to flip and flop and everything? And I'm just like, that was brilliant, New York. This is the one time I was like, yes, because that is definitely going to sway people's vote. Because don't nobody want to work. Don't nobody want competition here. So, yes, people are like, okay, ding, ding, ding. Let's keep New York instead of Plain. So it's now time for the votes. So Drita goes first. And Drita said, New York's getting the fuck out this house if it's on my watch. So she votes New York out. And the other people voted out Plain Jane. So when Joel reads it, he goes, all right, so we have the votes. 5 votes were for Plain Jane. Only 1 vote was for New York. And it was like, damn. Plain Jane, you didn't stand a fucking chance in this game. 5 votes. Yeah. All of that, this means a lot to me, to the kid that was growing up. This is all, it's like none of that mattered to them. That's why I say you should have stayed quiet. You should have stayed quiet. You should have, how many episodes will this season be? I believe it's 10 episodes. They currently just released 6, so I have 2 more to catch up on, pretty much. That does sound smart, but she hasn't said that before. New York knows what she's doing. New York knows what she's doing, and especially in this management. Now, will she continue to do this? Probably not. But in this moment, I knew why they voted for her, because that was the smartest shit she could have ever did. That's what happens in these competition shows. It doesn't matter how good you are, it's how you could fuck up the most. That's how it is. So once it's been announced that Plain Jane is, out of the house, Johnny said, kick rocks without socks on. Bop. It sent Plain Jane's ass packing. I said, damn. But I'm not mad. Let me tell you why I'm not mad that Plain Jane went home. Because I feel like, to me, when you do the whole sympathy card, it really does backfire on you. We've seen this time and time and time again on shows. The sympathy card always puts you out, because nobody wants a sob story. Y'all are villains. Like, this is not, what is that show called where the sympathy always wins? The Amazing Grace. This is not that. This is House of Villains. You're known to be the asshole. You're known to be the bad guy. How can you out asshole everybody else? That's what they want to see. They don't want to see this whole sympathy vote. Although I do feel and can relate to Plain Jane on a lot of different things, it just wasn't smart of Plain Jane to do this. It just was not. It was like, come on, this whole sympathy thing. Like, I get, you know, in that realm, a lot of them do get overlooked. I completely understand that. And I'm not trying to dismiss that because I know that a lot of times y'all don't get opportunities the same way other reality TV stars do. Totally understand that. Hey, Kevin Reynolds, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. But for me, watching this, it was kind of like you were doing it for sympathy. It just seems like that. You wanted people to feel sorry for you so that way they didn't vote you out. It's a good strategy move, but you have to understand that don't work with everybody. The best, let me tell you, the best person who has the greatest strategy is Kate Chastain because nobody can read her. Nobody knows what she's thinking. Nobody knows what's going on. So that's her advantage. And I want Kate Chastain to keep that advantage because to me, that's what's going to fuck them up in the long run. And I can't wait to see how this plays out. I can't wait to see how this plays out. The sympathy route can work, but you have to have the right alliances because remember, too, Tanisha did that and she won the first season. But what Tanisha, yes and no. And let me explain why. Tanisha, the only time Tanisha did that was playing with Johnny and then also her getting into it with New York and Omarosa. That's kind of where she got her alliances because those were the bigger tickets. But Tanisha, a lot of that first season, a lot of those episodes kind of just fell under the radar. Like she was kind of like underneath where we really forgot she was there half the time until she got into it with somebody. So she kind of, yeah, he did let her. That's what I said. It was Johnny Bananas. Like to me, I feel like that was her only way of winning is that she built the alliance. But remember, that was after the fact that she had got into it. No, I think she had an alliance with him before, but still, it didn't go strong until after her fight with Omarosa. That's when it went off. But to me, I felt like she won because she fell under the wayside. That's why I say you have to be in this game, you have to be the underdog and you got to let the other motherfuckers get into it. You got to let the other motherfuckers get into it and not let them, see you sweat. But Plain Jane is gone, so he is the second villain to be banished from the house. Jackie Christie was the first one. So we have episode 5, which I'll probably get out to you guys tomorrow morning. And then we have episode 6 that they just released. And I believe, as I said, they're going up to 10. So I can't wait to see how the tables turn on the alliance members, which is Johnny, Ashley, Paul, Tyson, and Tom. Because right now, Tom feel a way about Johnny. He do for Johnny even putting him out there. So I'm wondering how that dynamic is going to work now. Because, and as I had told Mrs. Best last week, I feel like Tom is not going to let that go. Tom is not going to let that go because the damage is already done. That's why I felt like they should have kept with that and put Tom's ass in. But hey, I hope Tom gets him back. I do. I hope Tom gets him back because it was ridiculous for him to even put Tom up in the first place. But I understand we're running out of numbers here. Shani said that sucks that Jackie was the first out. They didn't even give her a chance. Jackie didn't give herself a chance. Jackie was not a competitor. Jackie was literally, to me, watching this, she was one of the worst casting decisions ever. Like, to me, I feel like I wouldn't have put her here because she can't compete. And Jackie was the reason why they lost the challenge in the first place. So it only felt right for her to go. But Jackie is in her own way. That's why she can't win things. It's kind of like New York, but New York is a little bit more kookier. So it works for this series. With Jackie, it doesn't work because Jackie gets on her own way and it's not fun. It gets serious. It's like almost like your mom throwing a tantrum. Like you don't want to correct it. You just want to be far from it. That's what it is. Mrs. Best said, Jackie is so wacky. I hope she continues on shows like this. Y'all really want Jackie Christie on shows like this? How about we come up with another show for Jackie Christie to be on other than shows like this? I don't think this works for Jackie. I don't. I don't think this works for Jackie at all. Where would I put Jackie? What show would I put Jackie on? Where I feel like, hmm, I'm not watching this show, but I like Jackie. She's so entertaining. No, she is. Don't get me wrong. Jackie is with the shits. I love Jackie, but I wouldn't put her on this show. What show would I put Jackie on? There's so many, but there's so not many shows. Hmm. Would I put Jackie on Housewives? Not a Beverly Hills. We know she can't go on Beverly Hills. But would I put Jackie on Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac? I would put her in Atlanta with K. Michelle and them. That's where I would put her on. If I were to give Jackie another reality show TV chance, I would put her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think that she would do well. Y'all don't want to see Shani don't want to see Jackie on Housewives. I could see her on Housewives with K. Michelle, Portia, and Pinky and all them. I really can. I could see her on that show because it would be no different than Megan James going on Basketball Wives. It would be no different. So yeah, maybe Jackie on the that would be good. You know what? Honestly, if they were to do like a outskirts road trip show with the housewives or reality TV stars, Jackie would do good on a road trip. She doesn't need a competition show. She needs like a banter show where she gets into it with people. I think that that's her realm because they voted her off way too quickly on this show and it was her own fault. So yeah. But yeah, Jackie needs to be on something where oh no. You know what I'm thinking? Because that is a great idea. The house road trip. What is that one show? Shit. It's not road trip. It's is that the ultimate girls trip? No, there's another show that Jackie could go on. Um it's slipping my mind, y'all. I don't think good when I'm on the spot like this. I usually have to have collection, but there's another show. I forgot what network it's on. No, not Road Rules. It wasn't. No, not the challenges. No, not none of those shows. There was another reality TV show that reality stars go on that that would work really well. I can't think of it right now, but on the next House of Villains, I'll know which one it is, and then I'll say it on that one. But that was pretty much it, y'all. So long, Plain Jane. I'm glad Kate Chastain is turning the tables on this show so far. I gotta watch episode 5 to see how that plays out. And I want to see what she does because this is what Johnny gets for trying to scheme and get her out. This is what it is. I wouldn't mind Jackie on like the Masked Singer. That would be good because nobody would guess her. Nobody would guess Jackie on that show. She might win because ain't that the point of the show? They have to be able to guess who it is. Like I don't watch the Masked Singer. I'm that's not one of my favorite shows, but yeah. I finally got it. The show that Teresa and Gia went on where they were it was like this army boot camp show. That's the show I want Jackie to go on. Is that show where it was like the army boot camp with the reality TV stars? That's the show I'm talking about. And I knew it was gonna come to me where they were all I forgot what that show was called, but yeah, the boot camp show where Teresa just went on, her and Gia, and then Kenya Moore went on that show. Jussie Smollett was on the show. That's the show I want to see Jackie on. Is that one? I think she would do absolutely well on that show. Um, yeah, they give hints on who they are, and their voice is kind of distorted when they sing, so you got to guess. Yeah, I don't. I think that would be a good show, but whatever that boot camp show is that they have the reality TV stars go on, that's the show Jackie needs to go on. Is that show right there? I think she would do tremendous on that show because I would love to see it. I don't know what it's called, but because I haven't really watched it all the way through, I've seen little snippets. But I know Teresa Judice and Gia were on it. I know Kenya Moore has been on that show. Eva Marcel has been on the show. Who else? It was a lot of reality TV stars, a lot of housewives. They all go on this like boot camp show where it's like Special Forces. I think that's what it's called, Special Forces. But that's where I want to see Jackie on. Jackie needs to go on that show. Y'all set that up because I will recap that show if Jackie goes on there. Like I really will. But that's it, y'all. That's House of Villains. So long, playing Jane. We'll see who's the next person to get eliminated. I'm very excited. I hope you guys have a great night. Mrs. Best, I missed you up here. I don't like doing lives by myself. I might have to start doing pre-records like you because this is weird not have. Okay, so it is called Special Forces. Okay, yeah, that's the show Jackie needs to go on, is Special Forces. But yes, it's weird not having my co-host, my best friend here with me. It's weird having her not here because I don't have anyone to talk to on here. It's weird talking to myself here. But anyways, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I will be back for episode 5, more than likely tomorrow. And remember, I have Married to Medicine, the reunion. And also, I have 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days on Mrs. Best channel. So please subscribe if you are not subscribed to her. That is a show that I love recapping. Like, it is one of my favorites so far. So we hope that you guys have it out here. She's in the chat. She's here with us. She's just not here live with me. She doesn't have access to this show, so she can't really engage here and really be a part of the story and synopsis when you don't have the access. That wouldn't be fair. And we already talked about it. I told her I will continue on and not drop it like I did last time. About to go watch the reunion right now. Yeah, it hasn't aired for me yet. I still got about 2 or 3 more hours left until it airs for me. So, but I will be watching, and make sure you guys look at everybody's outfits to make sure, you get the reunion looks ready. But thank you guys for being here once again. I will see you guys on my next live. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.